what does this tell you, this ruling from the judge?
Something smells here. Whether Britney needs new attorneys.
Hard to believe we're saying this, but actually it turns out to be really interesting. Britney Spears, that saga has a new turn tonight from a judge. She's under conservatorship that's been controlling her life for years. Can't get pregnant, can't get married. It's amazing that could happen here. Anyway, there's a new development. We'll tell you about it right after the break. Fox News alert for you. A judge has just denied a request from Britney Spears' lawyer to free her from that conservatorship we told you about and remove her father, Jamie Spears, as the conservator. According to TMZ, which we are quoting on the air, the judge has approved a plan to name a co-conservator. Now, we're going to start with Francey Hakes to determine what exactly this means. Francey, thanks so much for joining us tonight. This is one of those cases you never thought we'd be interested in, but it tells you something about the country, I think. So what do we know tonight based on this judge's order?
Well, Tucker, it looks to me like the judge is not really listening to Britney. And what really concerns me are some of the other stories that also came out today where one conservator is defending herself against claims that the father is making, against claims that Britney is making. And now you've got people that are supposed to be looking out for Britney Spears' best interests, arguing with Britney Spears in public about what they're doing or what they're not doing. I want to know who's looking out for Britney. It certainly doesn't look to me as though the judge is doing so.
What am I missing here? I mean, so the underlying claim is that Britney Spears is so crazy that she can't make even basic decisions about her own life. But she also has a highly paying job. So how do you square those two points?
Well, Tucker, it's really hard to square those 2 points, especially after you listen to Britney's impassioned and intelligent plea for herself last week in that hearing. She completely understands what's happening. She understands she's under conservatorship. She understands the ramifications. She knows what the limits are on her. It is very hard to understand how a judge, 13 years after they imposed the conservatorship when she had a mental health issue, continues to say that she cannot make her own decisions.
It's all very, very, very strange. I hope they don't do it to us. Francey Hakes, good to see you tonight. Thank you so much. We're going to go down to Jeanine Pirro. Judge, good to see you tonight. So what does this tell you, this ruling from the judge?
You know, I must tell you that my instincts tell me that there's something that is very wrong here. And whether Britney needs new attorneys or whether there needs to be, a judge here who makes more sense than this particular judge, she is a highly functioning woman who is able to discipline herself, practice, go on tour, and all of a sudden she's not capable of making a decision as to whether she can have a child or not have a child, whether or not she can redo her kitchen. Something smells here. And I must tell you that the way to start is to get new attorneys on this, because if, as the prior attorney, I don't know her name, was saying, if the opposing parties are agreeing with each other, then something smells here. And it is not, this isn't something that a lot of people are getting involved in, because she is a functioning individual. She's almost 40 years old, and she is not being allowed to make basic decisions about her own body and about whether or not she can redo her kitchen. This is bizarre, it's absurd, and it's unfair.
That whole your body, your choice stuff, they didn't really mean it. What bothers me is if a judge thinks that what you're saying is irrational, then he can control your life. Well, I think you and I would be in trouble under that standard.
Big trouble, depending on the judge. But that's really for a psychologist, psychiatrist to say. Judges are in a position to assess evidence and not to form their own opinions as to whether or not someone is competent. That is based upon evidence and scientific evidence. I'm not seeing any of it here. In fact, I'm seeing just the opposite.
Judge Jeanine, we'll see you at 10. Thanks so much.